over here at Big Data Exchange, our mission is very important, and we try to align ourselves with advancing Filecoin's mission of creating a decentralized, efficient, and robust foundation for humanity's information. So let us quickly get to what Big Data Exchange is. It's basically a marketplace where storage providers can come to bid to store valuable data from clients. We want to provide an efficient and transparent deal-making process, and in so doing, we achieve two things. Number one, we provide SP with a transparent, consistent, and efficient pipeline of File+ deals. And number two, we increase clients' awareness and adoption of decentralized cloud storage. So I know today is File+ days, and everyone should know what File+ is, but for the benefit of people who are not aware, I'm just going to briefly touch on it on a very high level. File+ is a program to increase Filecoin's mission in effectiveness in achieving its mission. It's a layer of social trust aimed at maximizing the amount of useful storage via the allocation and deployment of data cap. In the diagram here, the movement of data cap is an example of this social trust. At a very high level, Notary will determine how much data cap to allocate to clients. And in turn, clients need to show notaries that this data that's being stored is useful and where it's being stored. And when they transact with SP, they pass on the data cap, they deploy it. So when SP have this data cap, they essentially have a 10 times increase in quality adjusted power. So that is File+ for everyone here. So for example, a 50 terabyte storage now, 50 terabyte data can now be perceived as a 500 terabyte of storage power. So now that's very interesting, right? Because essentially it creates a very powerful and incentive structure. It changes the whole economic structure, and that's good for all the participants in the Filecoin economy. But when something is too powerful, you want to make sure you use it right. And right is very subjective. So you also want to have a transparent process to ensure proper governance. So over the next few slides, this is what I'll talk about, these 2 points. So the question we have to ask is, how do we allocate these additional resources, right? On the left is a simple economic theory called trickle-down economics. I'm no economist, so I'm not here to debate whether this is accurate or not. I hereby declare that I have no view, but this picture suggests that when you pour the champagne, only the top few glasses have champagne, and the rest don't get it. So I have no view on that, but what I believe is in the efficient market theory, where participants in the economy can come in together through forces of supply, demand, and prices, determine the value of the additional QA power illustrated here. So now we open the floodgate that this data has value, right? But we don't know what the value is. That's why we create the auction house. We want people to come in, we want them to bid, and through the forces of price, demand, and supply, create a value. But what we do know is that SPs can now reasonably predict their projected rewards over the course of the next 360 days. Based on yesterday's data, they can reasonably expect 40 additional fill from doing File+ deals. So now we can reasonably expect that they will potentially bid between 0 and 40 per terabyte. So this is a very efficient, fair, and price discovery process, and that's what we want to achieve. I think I should click twice every time. So this is the part where I'm most excited about. Now we have given value to valuable data. And earlier I said that our mission is to advance Filecoin's mission, and that's always our guiding North Star. In this diagram, we'll show you that because now there's value, teams can much better predict their costs, and they will deploy resources to build teams, deploy capital, deploy hardware, software. So now the pie is bigger. And I always assume everyone is a profit maximizer. So everyone will come in and they will build all this stuff for the Filecoin network. That's why it's very important for me to pitch this product, because I think this will be a win-win for SPs and clients. So yeah, I think I mentioned this. So this is very important. That's why I bolded. Mobilization of resources, teams, and capital into sourcing, preparing, and storing of valuable data. Currently, it's a very technical process. And I think when there are more teams, there'll be more efficiency, and perhaps it will pave the way for further innovation. So now we cover why clients want to come to Big Data Exchange. I'll quickly cover why SP want to come to Big Data Exchange as well. As I've illustrated, SPs are now incentivized to take on Field Plus deals. And there are commonly two methods of sourcing for deals. One is, if you're an SP, you build a BD team. You go out there, you source, you try to pitch for clients. It's expensive, it's a cost center, and sometimes the leads lead to nowhere. And second thing, which is something that we've seen as well, you be the clients yourself. And that's essentially self-dealing. And if history has taught us anything, we know that it's unsustainable. Moreover, the process is opaque, right? So you remember Notary, they will give data cap based on transparency. They want to know where it's going. So this presents a high hurdle to get those Field Plus deal as well. So that's why we created BigData Exchange, because we feel we can fill in the needs for these SPs. We can provide a strong pipeline of Field Plus deals. And so now SP only need to focus on what they do best, which is to provide data storage and retrieval services. Now, a lot of people ask me, why would SP pay for a deal, right? Because they are storing data, they're using their hardware equipment, there's cost. Why would they do that? Doesn't make sense. Well, they were willing to do that because of Field Plus, because now we have improved economic structure for them. We have to remember that SP, they spend investment in storage and sealing hardware, right? So when there is improved economics, now they have a better willingness to pay. So they want to acquire this Field Plus deal so that they can seal faster, they can store faster, and they can get more rewards. Additionally, when you come to BigData Exchange, you're dealing with clients who are very familiar with the deal-making process. What this means is that the deal-making process, for SP, they are very familiar. This is a very technical and time-consuming process. When you're dealing with clients who are familiar with it, with our assistance, then this process gets shortened. And when you save time, you have more time to earn block rewards. So that's an implied benefit as well. And also, previously I mentioned about building a BD team, right? Now you have no need to do that. You can pretty much get Field Plus deal sort of on demand if you want, willing to pay for it. So you save costs on that as well. That's, again, another implied benefit. You also can build better reputation and marketing results in the Web3 data service. So all these are implied benefits that will outweigh the cost that will cost you to transact on BigData Exchange. So now that we mentioned, now we have shown why SPs and clients want to come here, right? What is next? Like with every exciting marketplace, liquidity begets liquidity. When there are a few successful transactions, SP will tend to come in and bid more aggressively. And then clients will start noticing, right? They will see, oh, there's so many exciting price action. I want to get involved too. So more clients come in, and now this creates a virtual cycle. And if we achieve that, then we can potentially be the platform that match SP with more than peppy data level of deals. And this is a win-win for everyone in the Filecoin network. So that's why we really encourage, once again, SP clients come on board the BigData Exchange soon. So like with every auction, when there's exciting price action, it creates a lot of interest and awareness. So at BigData Exchange, we also we'll broadcast these successful auctions. And in turn, this will raise awareness and hopefully drive adoption for Filecoin network. Earlier I mentioned about governance, how we keep this process transparent. Right now, the process for data cap allocation is arbitrary, and some people think it's subjective. But on BigData Exchange, where you see all the transaction in a very fair and transparent manner, right? You know where the data, what kind of data is being used, where it's being stored, who is storing them. So this is a very transparent process, and it provides a proper framework for notaries to now determine the data cap allocation. So I think this is a very important point for us as well, because it's going to benefit the community as a whole. Okay, so now we covered all this, and this is part where I'm very even more excited about. This is Vision 2.0. When everything I say come to fruition, then BigData Exchange become a repository of valuable data, and we know where these data are stored. Now we can do a lot more things with the community already. For example, number one, we can assist clients with data cap applications, because now it's a very complicated process. As I mentioned, it's very opaque. I think we can streamline this and make it more efficient. Number two, we can provide track record and reputation for SPs, because they are transacting on our platform with all this data. What do we do with this data? One example is, perhaps we can be the linkage between financing providers and them. Financing, when used correctly, can be a very powerful tool to scale up SP businesses and reduce their cost of capital. So that's an added benefit for SP as well. The third thing could be like building a market. We always want to be the, I would say, the middle, I wouldn't want to say middleman. We want to be a platform to match all participants within the Filecoin network. And this could include services like data retrieval, compute data, or more Web3 data services as we transition from Web2 to Web3. And the third one is, the last one is, since we have determined that valuable data has value, we can even potentially create data asset tokens. So this is Vision 2.0. Okay, so my time is running out. I will quickly go through our MVP. So this is our landing page, where we'll show the most time-sensitive auction placed by clients. And if you're an SP, you're interested, you go in, you enter the auction, you get to see information from data, number of copies, what is the latest highest bidding price, what are the requirements. And if you feel it's a good fit, you go in, you place the order, or you place the bid. It's a very simple process. Within a few clicks, you get it done. And then from client perspective, right now we have a storage request application form. It's very simple. All you have to do is submit it, and we will help you to put these auctions up quickly. We do that now because we want to ensure that everything's a smooth process, but over time, we're going to introduce automation to make it easier for clients to onboard their auctions. So we've launched for 2 weeks, and I'm very proud of what our team has done so far. These are the current statistics. But we're not going to stop here. I think we have a lot more to do, and we have planned out. We have a lot of plans laid ahead, and this is the roadmap. We hope that by the end of the year, we can have full functionalities of this big data exchange with superior UX, and we also hope to have cumulative total of 100 petabyte of data. So this is something I hope everyone here can join in the journey. SP clients. Let's preserve humanity's most important information. If you are interested, reach us at info@bigd.exchange, Twitter, or on Slack. Very happy to answer any questions now.
This is from Wynand, one of our notaries. I understand why this exchange is being built. Can you explain why you applied for an LDN data cap application yourselves? The question is, do you want to start building data sets yourselves in the future? So kind of how are you using the LDN process right now?
Okay. I think right now, one of the constraints is having data cap allocated, because as I mentioned, it's a very cumbersome process. And it's not just us that's facing this problem, right? I think it's not just a few select clients who are facing this problem. Many clients are facing this problem. So as I would say, as the so-called, we want to be like proficient in this area. That's why we are doing this data cap application. That's number one. We want to know the process. And number two, we need the data cap to kickstart this process. Right now, because of course the best scenario is every client come willingly, readily with a lot of data cap. But that is currently not the case. And we are doing our best to smoothen out this kink. We want to keep this, as I mentioned earlier, liquidity begets liquidity. We want to start to have exciting price action and successful auctions. That's why we want to have this data cap to get the ball rolling. But over a period of time, we want to be the platform that matches SPs with clients.
Awesome. Eric from Bytebase has a question. If all data is in your hands, this is not a decentralized storage. Can you explain why all data should come to your side and who will pay the data transfer bandwidth costs?
I don't think this data is all in our hands. It's just a place for people to see where the data will be. This is just like a repository of data, locations on our participants. It's just a simple platform for people to get the information they want. So yeah, I hope I relay my message clearly that this is not supposed to be a centralized data platform.